The King Arthur, we must start the fantasy game show.
Yes, Merlin, we must certainly start. To win it, Merlin babysits the Musketeers.
Yes, this season is about me traveling to the center of the world while babysitting some rascal teenagers.
But Merlin, isn't this a fantasy game show? How does one win the game?
It is quite simple, Arthur. No magic powers needed to win. You, the viewers watching, have to press the star button on your streaming controller whenever you hear a movie or television show title spoken by one of the actors. The ones who get the most clicks this week wins a free $10 gift card. Make sure you are signed into your device.
Yes, but isn't using names from other works illegal?
We make sure every movie used gets the few milliseconds of magic they deserve.
Plus, isn't that
is streamed?
I didn't know streams had days.
I mean streaming devices for the television. Just click the star on the streaming controller each time you hear a title.
Plus, isn't that really great marketing for them? Free publicity. If I had that, I would have easily gained every European heart to my cause, and my kingdom would have included every corner of the world.
But viewers can only get the prize if they do it on the same day the show is streamed.
Wait, that means if someone says our names, King Arthur or Merlin, on the show, I can press the star button, because our names are movie titles. Merlin, 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 Merlin.
Yeah, but if you just sit there and click it continuously throughout the show, you will get disqualified.
Welcome back. Let's do a little preview.
Hey Trish, the air today sure has a touch of frost. Philip stomped on a meter to make a walking path rise in the water. He took out a box and put on his face a few dabs of foul-smelling powder. The path left open water on either side. They silently walked the path, which was not very wide. A 40 feet high, gray wall surrounded the island's perimeter. It had a garbage-ridden, brown-sanded beach where stood their purple greeter.
Ever wondered what a mystical alliance looks like? In this tent, 4 musketeers, Merlin, and a scholarly werewolf gather. And guess who's nodding in agreement? An army dog, barking approvingly, seals their pact. These unlikely companions share a secret mission. Magic meets valor, guided by ancient wisdom. Their friendship defies all odds. Will their combined strengths be enough? Stay tuned to witness this enchanting adventure unfold. Like and subscribe for more! Laughing, drinking, singing, and a few fighting all ran together to make a loud, muffled noise. Sweat made it stinky and moist. As they walked into the room, everyone fell silent except for the janitor's swishing broom. All these unearthly creatures had never seen humans who had just entered the lounging room. Ever wondered what alien creatures would sound like if they had a karaoke night? Imagine a universe where extraterrestrial life forms gather at a place called Berlin Station, showcasing their unique and otherworldly musical talents. In the next few seconds, you'll dive into a cacophony of sounds unlike anything on Earth. Picture octopus-like beings harmonizing with crystalline creatures, each note a blend of alien languages. This isn't just music, it's a glimpse into the cosmos. Every creature, from monstrous giants to tiny intelligent species, joins in, creating a symphony of the stars. The melodies range from eerie and haunting to surprisingly soulful. And just when you think you've heard it all, a new species steps up to the mic. Merlin babysits the Musketeers, a magical adventure in responsibility. Produced by Humongous Win. Written and directed by A.J. Kirby.
This Berlin station is so dark. I'm so tired. But I must stay awake.
Captain Logan's Dream Voyage. Captain Logan sat on the edge of his withered armchair, gazing at the collection of maps and trinkets on his desk. The day had been long, an exhausting blend of daring exploration and uncharted discoveries. As the evening sun dipped below the horizon and a cool breeze whispered through the open window, Logan's eyes began to grow heavy. One last sip of tea, a deep sigh, and the adventurer leaned back, surrendering to sleep. Little did he know, what awaited him was not rest, but a journey unlike any he had experienced before. Logan opened his eyes, startled. He wasn't in his room anymore. Instead, he found himself surrounded by a vast, sparkling expanse of icy blue water. Gusts of wintry wind brushed his face, and the brilliant light of the northern aurora shimmered in the sky. Beneath him was no solid ground, but something warm, firm, and alive. He sat up quickly, realizing he was atop a massive, majestic walrus. The creature's sleek snowy coat gleamed like polished ice. Its enormous tusks curved gracefully outward, each adorned with bands of seaweed that seemed to glimmer faintly, almost magical in nature. "About time you woke up, mate." Logan spun his head toward the gruff yet cheerful voice. A man stood at the other end of the walrus, holding onto the creature's flipper like it was the mast of a ship. He wore a tattered pirate coat, a tricorn hat slightly askew on his head, and an impish grin that made his weathered face almost likable. "Who are you?" Logan asked, his voice full of curiosity with just a tinge of wariness. "Captain Morgan," the pirate said, tipping his hat. "Welcome aboard Walter, finest walrus to ever sail these waters. She's a real beauty, eh?" Logan blinked. "Sail? Waters? Walrus?" "You're dreaming, lad," Morgan continued with a wink. "May as well enjoy it." Though disbelief remained etched into Logan's face, he couldn't deny the strange and whimsical excitement bubbling within him. As Morgan barked cheerful orders, Walter surged forward, gliding effortlessly across the icy sea like a living ship. Logan steadied himself on Walter's back, marveling at how the walrus moved with such grace and power. The landscape was otherworldly. Icebergs stood like towering castles, their edges glowing faintly under the shimmering aurora. Snowflakes danced in the air, and the ocean mirrored the sky's surreal colors. It was a dream, but it also felt vividly real, the kind of adventure Logan had always craved. So, Logan asked Morgan, "Where are we headed?" "Ha! The beauty of a voyage, mate, is not knowing everything," Morgan answered. "But, alas, trouble always finds us first." As if summoned by Morgan's words, the air grew tense. Behind them, dark shapes began darting through the water, quick, nimble shadows that sent ripples across the glassy sea. Logan tightened his grip. "What's that?" Morgan squinted, his smile fading. Well. Seems we've got company. Brace yourself, Logan. It's the seal pirates." The shadows drew closer, breaking the surface of the water to reveal sleek, glistening figures. Seals, dozens of them, armed with grappling hooks made of ice, snowball cannons mounted on miniature ice rafts, and an array of amusingly villainous expressions. At the center of the gathering floated a large, icy raft carrying their leader, Captain Snarlbottom. A grumpy-looking seal with a scar across one eye and a captain's hat slightly too big for his head, Snarlbottom leaned forward, his voice a low growl akin to grinding ice. "Give us the treasure, and we'll let you swim on your merry way." "Treasure? What treasure?" Logan whispered to Morgan, confused. Morgan shrugged. "Walter carries a stash of magical seaweed, very rare, very shiny. These seal scoundrels seem keen to take it. But don't you worry, lad. We'll deal with them." Logan's heart raced at the thought of the battle ahead. The seal pirates pushed closer, their grappling hooks clinking menacingly. But Captain Morgan merely smirked and twirled his cutlass. "Ready for a bit of swashbuckling, Logan?" Logan nodded, though he secretly had no idea what was about to happen. As the seal pirates launched their attack, chaos erupted across the icy waters. Hooks flew from all directions, trying to latch onto Walter's tusks or back. Logan and Morgan sprang into action, ducking and weaving to avoid the icy projectiles. Walter, to Logan's amazement, was no mere passive vessel. The mighty walrus twisted, dipped, and used its tusks to break apart incoming rafts. With a bellowing roar, Walter smacked the icy surface with his massive flippers, creating waves that threw many of the pirates off balance. Morgan, meanwhile, fought with theatrical flair, swinging his cutlass to cut ropes and deflect projectiles. "Stand firm, mate," he hollered to Logan, who found himself rolling snowballs, both for cover and retaliation. Though perilous, the skirmish was not without its hilarity. One overambitious seal pirate accidentally catapulted himself clean into the air, landing in an iceberg with a comical splat. Another found himself tangled in his own grappling rope, spinning wildly before tumbling into the frosty waters. Despite the adrenaline and danger, Logan found himself laughing amidst the madness. It was absurd, yet thrilling, the kind of wild fantasy buried deep within every adventurer's heart. As the battle raged on, Logan and Morgan devised a plan. "If we can lure them closer, Walter can finish the job," Morgan said. Logan nodded, clutching a large snowball. Standing tall atop Walter's back, he yelled, "Hey, Snarlebottom! Is this the best you've got?" Snarlebottom, insulted, snarled loudly and ordered his crew to focus all attacks on Logan. As the seals closed in, Walter suddenly spun sideways, creating a massive wave that sent the pirates flying in every direction. Dripping wet and furious, Snarlebottom let out a defeated growl. "You may have bested us, this time. But mark my words, this isn't over." With a huff, the seal pirates retreated into the depths, their icy rafts trailing behind them. Morgan threw his hat into the air and laughed heartily. Walter let out a triumphant roar, spraying water and snow into the sky. Logan grinned, his body still buzzing from the battle. "That was incredible." Morgan chuckled. "Aye, lad. Adventures are best when shared, wouldn't you say?" The battle won, the trio continued their journey deeper into the Arctic dreamscape. In the distance, a brilliant aurora danced on the horizon, casting its glow onto a mysterious frozen landscape. "What lies ahead?" Logan asked, his voice filled with excitement. "Things beyond your wildest dreams," Morgan replied. "But that's the beauty of it, ain't it?" Walter let out a low, contented hum, swimming forward toward the shimmering light. There was no need for words anymore. The promise of new adventures was enough. Just as Logan felt himself becoming truly immersed in the dream world, reality began tugging at him. The aurora blurred. Walter's massive form faded into the mist. Morgan's voice became a faint echo. "Take care, Logan," Morgan's voice called one last time. "And remember, adventure awaits, awake or asleep." Logan jolted awake, his heart pounding. He was back in his room, his maps and trinkets exactly where he had left them. Rubbing his eyes, he looked around, disoriented yet exhilarated. Had it all been a dream? It seemed so vivid, so real. Logan's gaze fell on a small, shimmering piece of seaweed resting on his desk. His breath caught. It couldn't be. Or could it? As the sun rose outside his window, painting the room in golden light, Logan stared at the seaweed, a knowing smile creeping across his face. Maybe the best adventures don't end, he whispered to himself, staring out at the horizon. Adventure was calling once more, and Logan would be ready, awake or asleep. The journey, after all, had only just begun. Captain Logan and the Skytall Sea Beast, a whimsical adventure. Captain Logan, a fearless teenage musketeer, wakes to an odd sensation, seaweed tangled around his feet. He blinks, looks around, and wonders, did I fall asleep or crash into a dream? The salty air and damp room seem real enough, but nothing could prepare him for what awaits outside. Curiosity pulls him to the door. He steps onto the sand, expecting the horizon to offer clarity. Instead, his jaw drops. In the distance looms a massive dragon squid, Its tentacles ripple like waves, its scales glint in the sunlight, and its sheer height reaches far beyond the clouds. Logan's instincts scream danger, and his loyal hand darts to his sword. The beast roars, unsettling the ocean itself, and charges toward him. Ready to defend his honor, and possibly his yard, the young musketeer doesn't flinch. Logan's mind races, but his feet remain firm. The creature sweeps a tentacle with terrifying force. Logan dives, rolls, and rises like a storm's gust, each movement fluid and calculated. He strikes once, twice, his blade shimmering against its rubbery skin. His final blow lands near its heart, and a bellowing cry echoes across the beach. But then something unexpected happens. The giant steps back, its ferocity shrinking. A tentacle raises, not to strike but to wave. Its booming voice trembles with apology. "Forgive me. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I was so hungry. Your grass looked delicious." Logan hesitates, lowering his sword. He sees the creature's gaunt face, its weary posture. The fury he'd fought moments ago now looks weak and desperate. Perhaps this wasn't a monster, but a misunderstood soul. Logan takes a deep breath and sheaths his weapon. "All right, big guy," he says, cautiously stepping forward. "You're not eating my lawn again, but maybe I can help." The creature's hopeful gaze glistens like the morning tide. An unexpected partnership begins. Together, they brainstorm ways to find food. "What do you eat?" Logan asks. "Anything, just not people," the creature replies with a bashful shrug. And so, an extraordinary quest to feed a sea giant is born. Their journey is filled with whimsy and wonder. Logan gallantly rides atop one of the creature's tentacles as they scour the shores. Along the way, they encountered curious seagulls, terribly nosy, secret underwater caves, eerily glowing, and even a shipwreck with a treasure chest filled, not with gold, but dried sea snacks. Logan laughs at the absurdity of it all. "I didn't think musketeering came with dragon-feeding duties." The creature chuckles, a gurgling sound like waves crashing against the rocks. Slowly but surely, they gather enough food to satisfy its enormous appetite. Back on the beach, the feast begins. With each bite, the beast grows stronger, its luminous eyes twinkling with gratitude. It speaks softly now, its once thunderous voice filled with warmth. "Thank you, human. Without you, I might have withered into the ocean, forgotten." Logan smiles, realizing how much the creature has changed in just a day. "So, what's your name, big guy?" he asks. The creature pauses, then finally says, "Call me Manticlaw." Thus begins a most peculiar friendship between the bold Captain Logan and the mighty Manticlaw. As the sun sets, casting golden light over their adventure, Manticlaw turns to Logan. "I need to return to the depths," it says. "But I'll never forget your kindness, Musketeer." Logan salutes, his heart heavy yet hopeful. "Take care, friend. And maybe stop eating yards," he jokes with a grin. Before disappearing into the ocean, Manticlaw bows its massive head in respect. Logan watches until the waves swallow his newfound companion, leaving only an unforgettable memory and a few snacks for his yard. What would you do if you stumbled upon a sky-high sea beast in need? Captain Logan's story reminds us that adventure can lead to compassion, courage, and the most unexpected friendships. If you enjoyed this whimsical tale, join us for more magical journeys. Let's dream, explore, and share our own daring stories. Glowing Star. Into the Dream, Captain Logan's thrilling horse race adventure. Captain Logan, a spirited teenager, finds himself transported once again into a dream. This time, it's not just any dream, it's a vivid memory of courage, speed, and the thundering rhythm of hoofbeats. In the distance, a race awaits. The stakes are high, but so is the thrill of the unknown. The air buzzes with excitement as Logan takes his position. Surrounding him are expert riders on majestic horses, each radiating determination. The countdown begins, and with the snap of reins, they're off. Logan's heart pounds to the rhythm of galloping hooves, his mind focused on the journey ahead. Logan's horse maneuvers with unmatched grace, cutting curves and leaping over obstacles. Competitors close in, pushing him to his limits. Dirt flies, adrenaline surges, but Logan doesn't waver. Bonded with his horse, they charge forward as one, outpacing rivals with daring moves that leave the crowd awestruck. With the finish line in sight, Logan pours every ounce of energy into the final stretch. The wind whistles past, cheers erupt, and the gap tightens. With a burst of sheer determination, Logan and his loyal companion surge past in a breathtaking finish. Victory is theirs. ##.
Oh, am I finally awake? They're still talking. We need to go.
Next time on Click It to Win It. Genie Gallipoli was standing there listening while rolling his thumbs. He startled everyone when he suddenly shouted, "The winner this week was Gularashtree Manup from Kathmandu, Nepal. Congratulations! Tune in next time to find out and try to win a prize."